Assalamu alaikum. How are you, viewers? I am Muhammad Shabir, and I am a student of Rehan AI Institute teacher training course for Ulama Bootcamp 2023. And you know that we come every day with a new topic. And today my topic is future of work, remote job. I will talk with Claude in this respect. Hello, Claude.
Hey Shabir, back again. What's on your mind today?
Okay, today my topic is future of work, remote job, and my question is what is remote work and how has it changed modern jobs?
So, remote work is basically doing your job from home or anywhere outside a traditional office, and it's fundamentally transformed how people work. It's broken the idea that you need to be in an office to be productive, opened up job opportunities globally so you're not limited by geography, and given people way more flexibility around their schedules and work-life balance. On the flip side, it's blurred the lines between work and home, made collaboration trickier, and created new challenges around staying connected and motivated without that office culture.
Okay, second question, why are remote job becoming more popular worldwide?
Remote jobs are exploding worldwide because companies realize they don't need expensive office spaces and can tap into talent from anywhere instead of just hiring locally, which saves money and gets them better people. Employees love it because they save time and money on commuting, get flexibility to work around their lives, and can even move to cheaper areas while earning the same salary. Plus, the pandemic basically forced everyone to prove remote work actually works. So now there's no going back. It's become mainstream and expected rather than some weird exception.
Okay, third question, how has technology made remote work possible?
Technology's been the real enabler. Video conferencing tools like Zoom let teams collaborate face to face without being in the same room. Cloud storage means everyone can access files from anywhere. Project management apps keep work organized and transparent. And instant messaging keeps communication flowing. High-speed internet made it all possible, and now we've got VPNs and security tools that let companies feel confident people are working safely from home. Basically, without these tech advances, remote work would still be a rare exception instead of the norm it is today.
Okay. Next question. What challenges do employees face in a remote job?
The big ones are isolation and loneliness, since you're missing that daily human connection and office camaraderie. Plus, blurry boundaries between work and personal life mean you end up working longer hours. Communication can be harder because text misses tone and nuance. You lose spontaneous collaboration and brainstorming, and it's easier to fall into procrastination without structure. There's also the challenge of building relationships with colleagues and proving your value when your boss can't see you working, which can affect promotions and opportunities.
Okay. How can companies manage remote teams effectively?
Companies need clear communication protocols so everyone knows how and when to connect, regular check-ins to stay aligned and catch issues early, and tools that make collaboration seamless. They also need to build trust rather than micromanaging, focus on results instead of monitoring whether people are at their desk, and create intentional opportunities for connection through virtual team events or occasional in-person meetups. Setting clear expectations about availability, work hours, and response times helps too, because without structure, remote teams can get chaotic or burnt out.
Okay. Why is communication important in remote work?
Communication is absolutely critical in remote work because you don't have face-to-face interactions to fill gaps or clarify misunderstandings. Everything depends on clear written and verbal communication. Without good communication, projects stall, people feel disconnected and uncertain, and small miscommunications blow up into bigger problems. You need to over-communicate a bit in remote settings, being explicit about goals, deadlines, decisions, and feedback. because the lack of casual office interactions means things don't get sorted organically like they would in person.
Okay. Next question. How has remote work changed office culture?
Remote work has kind of dismantled traditional office culture since there's no physical space where everyone gathers and bonds naturally. So companies have to be intentional about building culture now rather than it happening automatically. Some companies have gone fully distributed, which actually creates more inclusive culture since everyone's treated equally, while others struggle because they miss the spontaneous connections and mentorship that happened in offices. It's also shifted culture towards more results-focused and flexible. But some worry that deep collaboration and innovation get harder when teams aren't bouncing ideas off each other in person. So it's a mixed bag, really.
Okay. How can employees stay productive while working from home?
The key is creating structure and boundaries. Designate a specific workspace separate from where you relax. Set consistent work hours so you don't drift into working all day, and eliminate distractions by putting your phone away or using focus apps. Breaking work into focused chunks with breaks keeps your energy up. Plus, having a morning routine that mimics going to the office helps you mentally shift into work mode. Accountability also helps, whether that's scheduled check-ins with colleagues or telling someone what you're accomplishing that day, because it's easy to slip into procrastination without external structure.
Okay. What skills are necessary for successful remote workers?
Success with remote work really comes down to clear expectations about goals and deadlines, strong communication so everyone's on the same page, trust from management that people will get the work done, and the right tools and technology to actually work together. You also need intentional relationship building, since the camaraderie doesn't happen naturally, plus flexibility around how and when people work, as long as the results are there. And honestly, good time management and discipline from employees themselves is crucial. Remote work only works if people are genuinely motivated and organized, not just pretending to work from home.
What role does the internet play in remote jobs?
The internet is absolutely foundational. Without reliable high-speed connectivity, remote work simply isn't possible since you need it to video call, access cloud files, communicate instantly, and basically everything modern work requires. Poor internet means dropped calls, slow uploads, frustration, and lost productivity. So internet quality directly impacts whether remote work succeeds or fails. It's also created a digital divide where people in areas with bad internet are disadvantaged, which is why companies need to ensure their teams have quality connections or risk losing talent.
How can time management improve remote work performance?
To improve remote work performance, companies should invest in the right collaboration tools that actually work well together rather than having people juggle 5 different apps, provide training so people use them properly, and ensure clear communication channels so information doesn't get lost. From an employee side, optimizing your workspace, minimizing distractions, taking proper breaks, and staying connected with your team keeps performance high. Also, setting realistic daily goals and tracking progress helps you stay focused and accountable without burning out. So it's really a combination of company support and personal discipline working together.
Okay. Why is flexibility considered an advantage of remote job?
Flexibility is huge because it lets people work around their actual lives, managing childcare, handling appointments, or working during their peak productivity hours, instead of forcing a 9 to 5 schedule that might not suit them. It also means people can live wherever they want, whether that's a cheaper area or closer to family, which improves quality of life and work-life balance dramatically. Plus, when companies trust people to manage their own time and get results, employees feel respected and valued, which actually increases loyalty and productivity. It's a win-win if done right.
Okay, what are disadvantages of remote work for employees?
The big disadvantages are feeling isolated and lonely without daily human connection, struggling to separate work from home life so you end up always working, and missing out on casual mentorship and networking that happens naturally in offices. Career progression can suffer because you're less visible to decision makers. There's no clear boundary between personal and professional space, which affects mental health, and you might feel left out of important conversations or decisions happening informally. Plus, some people genuinely work better with structure and the discipline of going somewhere, so remote work can actually hurt their productivity and motivation.
How can remote jobs reduce commuting stress?
Exactly. Remote work eliminates commuting, which saves time, money, and reduces stress dramatically since you're not stuck in traffic or rushing to catch transport. That extra time and mental energy you get back can go towards exercise, family, hobbies, or just relaxing, which improves your overall well-being and mental health significantly. Less commuting also means environmental benefits since there's less pollution. Plus, you can be more present with family or fit in a morning workout before work starts. So it genuinely improves quality of life for most people.
How can remove workers maintain work-life balance?
Maintaining work-life balance in remote work is tricky because the lines blur. You need to set firm boundaries like having specific work hours and a separate workspace so you can actually switch off when the day ends. Taking real breaks away from your desk, not checking emails after hours, and being intentional about personal time helps too. Plus communicating your boundaries to your team so they respect when you're not available. The key is treating remote work like you still have to leave an office mentally, even if you physically don't, so you don't end up always working and burning out.
Why is self-discipline important in remote jobs?
Self-discipline is absolutely essential in remote work because there's no boss watching or office structure forcing you to stay on task. It's all on you to show up, focus, and get the work done. Without discipline, it's way too easy to procrastinate, get distracted by home stuff or your phone, or slip into working sporadically instead of consistently. The employees who thrive remotely are the ones who treat it seriously, stick to schedules, manage their time well, and hold themselves accountable, because ultimately, nobody's forcing you to work. You have to be genuinely motivated and disciplined.
How can online collaboration tools support remote teams?
I think you mean collaboration tools support remote teams. They're absolutely vital because they let distributed teams work together smoothly without being in the same room. Tools like project management apps, shared documents, video conferencing, and instant messaging keep everyone aligned, reduce miscommunication, and make it feel like you're actually collaborating instead of working in silos. The right collaboration tools essentially bridge the distance gap and make remote teamwork feel almost as natural as being in an office, which is why companies investing in good tools see much better remote work outcomes.
What industries offer the most remote job opportunities?
Remote job opportunities have exploded across almost every industry. Tech, customer service, marketing, writing, design, accounting, project management, you name it. Companies are hiring globally now instead of just locally, so salaries vary wildly depending on your location and expertise, but there's genuinely more opportunity than ever. The shift means if you've got skills that translate online, geography isn't a barrier anymore. You could be living anywhere and working for companies across the world, which is pretty transformative for career possibilities.
Why are companies adopting hybrid work models?
Companies are adopting hybrid models because they're trying to balance the best of both worlds, keeping the flexibility and cost savings of remote work while getting the collaboration, culture, and mentorship benefits of in-person time. It gives employees flexibility while ensuring teams still connect regularly. Plus, it lets companies downsize offices slightly without going fully remote. Hybrid also appeals to people who enjoy some office time for socializing and focus, but don't want the commute every day. So it's become a popular middle ground that works for a lot of companies and employees.
How can remote jobs create global employment opportunities?
Global employment is a massive advantage of remote work. You're no longer competing just with people in your city, but you also have access to jobs worldwide without relocating. Companies can now hire the best talent regardless of location, which means salaries sometimes get compressed downward in certain regions, but opportunities explode upward since there's so much more out there. It's genuinely democratized employment in a way. If you've got valuable skills, you can work for companies anywhere and build an international career from your living room.
Okay. Why is virtual teamwork important in modern business?
I'm not quite sure what you mean by 13. Could you rephrase that? Are you asking about something specific being important in modern business? Or did a word get cut off?
Okay. Uh, how can remote jobs create global employment opportunity?
Remote
And
jobs break down geographical
please,
barriers.
please, I want to go next question. That is, uh, how can employees avoid distraction while working remotely? And next question, why is virtual teamwork important in modern business?
So for avoiding distractions at home, you need to create a dedicated workspace away from temptations. Silence your phone notifications during focus time and communicate your work hours to family or housemates so they respect your time. Using focus apps that block distracting websites, taking scheduled breaks instead of constant interruptions, and starting your day with a clear priority list all help too. As for virtual teamwork, it's become essential in modern business because it lets companies access global talent, reduces overhead costs, and keeps projects moving across time zones and locations. Virtual collaboration also builds more inclusive teams since everyone participates equally online rather than some people dominating in-person meetings. Plus, it forces clearer communication, which actually improves how well teams function together.
How can video conferencing improve remote communication?
Video conferencing absolutely transforms remote communication because seeing faces and body language makes conversations feel personal and human, not just voices on a call. It cuts down misunderstandings since you can read tone and reactions instantly, builds stronger relationships between team members who might never meet in person, and makes meetings more engaging and productive than audio alone. Plus, for onboarding, training, and sensitive conversations, having that face-to-face element makes a huge difference in clarity and connection, which is why video conferencing has become so critical to making remote work actually work well.
Okay, I think this will be an important question. That is, why are digital skills important for future of work?
Data skills are becoming absolutely critical for the future of work because nearly every industry is becoming data-driven. Companies make decisions based on analytics rather than gut feeling. So understanding how to interpret and work with data is now a fundamental skill. Whether you're in marketing, finance, product, or even HR, being able to read data, spot trends, and make decisions from insights gives you a massive competitive advantage. Plus, automation and AI are replacing routine jobs, so the future belongs to people who can work with data and technology rather than just doing repetitive tasks, which is why upskilling in data literacy is one of the smartest investments you can make right now.
Okay, how can companies build trust with remote workers?
Good point. Remote workers especially need strong data skills because they often work independently without constant oversight. So being able to track their own performance through data and analytics helps prove their value and stay accountable. Data literacy also helps remote employees make better decisions without relying on constant check-ins or meetings. Plus, it makes them more valuable to employers since they can self-manage and demonstrate impact through metrics. So yeah,
Oh,
combining remote work flexibility with solid data skills is a powerful combination for career growth in the modern workplace.
okay. My last question is, what are future trends in remote work?
The big trends emerging are hybrid work becoming the standard rather than fully remote or fully in office. More focus on asynchronous work, so teams across time zones can collaborate without constant live meetings. And companies investing heavily in tools that make remote collaboration seamless. We're also seeing a push towards results-only work environments where people are judged purely on outcomes rather than hours worked. Plus, companies finally taking remote worker well-being seriously with better mental health support and boundaries. And honestly, as AI and automation grow, remote work might become even more essential since companies can hire specialists globally for specific projects rather than full-time local staff.
Okay. Um, I hope that this discussion will be helpful for everyone. Please comment about this topic, and I will meet you with a new topic in next day, in next time. So keep in your prayers. Okay. Allah Hafiz.